Russians may have vacated Kherson, but the Ukrainian military have still got a lot of mop-up operations to do in the area, liberating the villages and the towns that form in the outskirts, the urban areas, also clearing the mines and the booby traps that have been left behind, and also flushing out the Russian soldiers that were left behind, and also that some the special forces as well. What we have learnt, though, is a little bit more about the Russian withdrawal. Bizarre scenes on the 9th of November when on Russian television they showed the Russian generals discussing and debating the withdrawal and then ordering it. It turns out now that the decision was made several weeks earlier to withdraw the troops from Kherson itself. The Russian military got changed into civilian clothes and then crossed the Dnieper River under the guise of a civilian evacuation. Once they got the far side of the river, they dug defensive positions. The TV conference with the generals was almost certainly aimed at the Russian domestic audience to let them know what was going on. As soon as that had happened, the last of the soldiers left, the Russians blew the bridges, and that effectively stopped the Ukrainians chasing up and following behind. But also in the news is the Donbass. Russians are fighting even harder than ever up there, and it's clearly one of their main efforts as part of achieving the objectives of Putin's special military operation and taking this one remaining region of the Donbass that they don't currently control. The Russians are pushing hard around Bakhmut and making very limited progress with stoical Ukrainian resistance. Ukrainians are pushing across at Svatova and actually into Luhansk, almost certainly trying to distract from the Russian effort. What we don't know is the 30,000 Russian troops that were in Kherson, where they're going to appear next, but almost certainly they're going to be brought up into the fight. And if that happens, the intensity will go up, as will the casualties. Casualties have been a key figure over the last week, when details from America are suggesting that over 100,000 casualties from both sides. And since the fighting in the Donbass is intensified, that will undoubtedly be increasing for the Russians, particularly their insistence on using poorly trained, poorly equipped and poorly motivated soldiers. It's worth reminding viewers that for every one death on the battlefield, there's normally 10 times as many serious injuries. This legacy of this war will be felt for generations to come. And on this Remembrance Day, I think it's a particularly poignant reminder of the devastating human impact for both sides of Putin's decision to invade Ukraine.